Welcome and thank you for tuning in. Virginia Tech made school history. The men's basketball team won the ACC tournament for the very first time after beating Duke 82-67 at the Barclays Center in the conference title game. An incredible performance with an iconic moment, of course, Justin Mutz slamming it right down Paolo Banchero. Mutz has been the talisman for Virginia Tech so much this season, always keen to start up a Let's Go Hokies chant. He is so passionate about Virginia Tech. I love what Mutz and this entire team brought to the table. For me, the defining moment of the entire ACC tournament has to be the moment that ignited this dream run. Darius Maddox in Virginia Tech's ACC tournament opener against Clemson, drilling a buzzer beater three-point shot to give the Hokies a 1-point win over Clemson. I'll never forget how crazy I went when that ball went through the net. Darius Maddox is March Magic. Darius Automatics means so much to this team, and I'm so glad that he is now getting the playing time that he deserves. I've been critical of Mike Young and his usage of Darius Maddox in the past. Ultimately, the results speak for themselves. I'm sure Darius Maddox will not be starting for Virginia Tech against Texas in its ACC first match. But at the end of the day, Mike Young played a huge role in turning this team around. Like I said, I've been critical of him. The results speak for themselves. 13 wins in the last 15 games. Mike Young is obviously an amazing coach. At no point did I ever question his future. He is the future of Virginia Tech men's basketball, and he has brought the happiest of days to Blacksburg. So huge credit to Mike Young. He knew that Naheem Aline and Storm Murphy had to be pushed to raise their games to the next level, and thankfully there were guys off the bench who were good enough to do that with the likes of Sean Padula and Darius Maddox. I certainly hope Darius Maddox plays at least 30 minutes per game in the tournament, but we will see how the usage plays out. David Gasson has provided more and more valuable minutes off the bench, but Hunter Couture was the superstar performance of the win over Duke. 31 points, 7 three-pointers made, just a virtuoso performance from Couture. Couture is well known, of course, amongst Hokie Nation for being an incredible automatic three-point shooter in his own right. But what I love about Hunter Couture is his toughness. He is such an underrated rebounder, moves so well without the basketball, and never backs down from anyone. Sean Padula really stepped up down the stretch late in the season, as I mentioned, and Storm Murphy hit so many important three-point shots for the Hokies in the ACC tournament. He is so passionate, a never-ending stream of energy from Storm Murphy. Gotta love the guy. He always fights it out and has really endeared himself to Hokie Nation over the course of this dream run. Now, Keve Aluma had 19 points against Duke in the ACC title game, and I think what the key is for a Virginia Tech team that doesn't have, an incredible slashing winger or wingman like Landers Nolly, let's say, is to have great ball movement inside out. Justin Mutz and Keve Aluma got the ball more and more inside the post, causing the defense to collapse on them, and that created more open outside looks for, knockdown shooters like Padula, Murphy, Maddox, Couture, and Aline, who has stepped up his game too. So the Hokies loaded in the backcourt. Now, so many players are hitting their stride at just the right time, and they're going to have a tough opponent with Texas. Texas has lost its last 3 games, but I wouldn't put too much stock in that because all 3 losses were close ones, all of which were to teams that made the field of 68 for March Madness too. So Andrew Jones is an incredible story, a leukemia survivor who is one of the most important players on this Texas team. Marcus Carr is going to present matchup problems for Virginia Tech. He is so quick. And, I think the Hokies are really going to be counting on Naheem Aline to try and slow him down on the perimeter. That's going to be a really interesting matchup to watch out for. And, the Longhorns play in a really tough conference and, are capable of making a run in the tournament themselves. That is going to be an amazing, I think, really close game. The Hokies will live and die by the 3, but thankfully these shots have been falling, and the Hokies have been able to create a more dynamic offensive flow down the stretch as we are now in the most wonderful time of the year. Can't wait to see the Hokies, the ACC champion Hokies, back in the field of 68. Get your dancing shoes on. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you've watched for this long, you might as well subscribe to my channel.